we are out here right now and testifying right now in the courtroom is Mia. Now Mia is not her real name, of course. They have hidden the name of the person testifying that was Diddy's assistant, but the jury does know her name and her full name. So it's not another case. Mysterious person, that was suing Diddy under Jane Doe. But Mia or Maya, well, Mia, we go with Mia, M-I-A, is the person on the stand, and they are at break right now. You see Tisa Tells right there. Tisa Tells, she's a big-time YouTuber, has been following this case. So she is standing right in front of us, for her bodyguard. But hit the like button, guys. Hit that like button, guys. Live for the Diddy trial. And Mia was on the stand. And I gotta ask you guys, does this rise to racketeering? Now, I seen an expert on Fox News yesterday say, look, it's a strong possibility Diddy can't walk. Very strong possibility Diddy can't walk from this. And the prosecutors haven't actually proved racketeering. They've proved a lot of domestic violence, and that's what I want to ask you guys. And hit the like button. Y'all can hear me? Let's go. Boots on the ground. It says Backpack Val. Shout out to you, Backpack Val. Shout out to you, Backpack Val. Salute, Joe Bernat. Salute, Joe Bernat. Now, does this case and the evidence y'all been hearing from these witnesses, does it rise to, like I was asking earlier, racketeering? Now, there's a hell of a lot of domestic violence, and that's disturbing in itself, and some jurors might want to just put him away because of the domestic violence, and all of the beat downs he have given to Cassie. And there has been plenty of witnesses that have been talking about how they witnessed him beat down Cassie. As you guys see, Tisa Tells right there, she has been on Diddy's neck the whole trial. And and that's the bodyguard right there. Hit the like button, though, guys. Hit the like button. Live from the courthouse out here. Like I said, and even Maya, the person that's testifying right now, she has talked about a lot of domestic violence. So I know some people were like, yo, this is just a domestic violence case. Maybe they overcharged Diddy. Maybe they would have they would have been better off charging Diddy for domestic violence, right? And they can nail Diddy on domestic violence. They had enough people go inside that courtroom and testify that they seen him lay hands on Cassie. They would have easily found him guilty of domestic violence. Now, in New York State and LA, I don't know how many years is the maximum you can get for domestic violence, but maybe they should have, maybe, do y'all believe they overcharged Diddy with the whole RICO conspiracy? Because, like I said, the guy from Fox News, a former prosecutor, said Diddy may walk. Diddy may walk, maybe because they overcharged him. Like I said, that's Tisa Tells right there. Hit the like button, guys, as you guys come in. Hit that like button. Let me see. Diddy's kids are inside the courtroom. They have come and to support their daddy. So they are in the courtroom right now. Shout out to Blaze. The firearms with scratch serial numbers are going to cook them. You don't think so? You think so? The firearms with scratch. Like I said, Diddy's defense said, look, they asked the investigator, don't you have firearms of yourself, in your home? And most people have firearms in Florida. So it's no big deal. No big deal that Diddy had the firearms. Now, you are right that the scratch serial number could be a problem, right? Yeah, you are right. Now, it's 12 jurors in there. Now, they're hearing a lot about domestic violence. And they may want to find Diddy guilty just to get back at him for beating up Cassie, right? Because it is disgusting what he was doing. Like I said, Diddy is not the type of person Raze would hang out with. I know those type of people. Like, you work for them. And as Maya was testifying, you work for those type of people. And what happens is they're paying you good money, but they're very demanding. And they get into a lot of problems. They got drama. They got beefs. They're beating up their girlfriend. You see they beating up their girlfriend. you try to intervene, you start getting threatened with your job, you get suspended, which Maya testified that she was suspended, because of being an insubordinate the day after she witnessed Diddy beating up Cassie. Those type of people, yeah, I won't hang out with, I won't be around, and I won't work for, because, like I said, they got your career hovering, and holding your career over your head with threats. So I understand all that. I do. A lot of these and work for Diddy, like I said, they got to make a living, right? And that might be the only issue that some of the jurors might have. Like, why did these people that work for Diddy, that's testifying against him, go back to him to ask for employment, right? So I believe that's going to be an issue with the juries, with the jurors, the 12 jurors. But I ask you guys, is this more about domestic violence? Because that's the big thing, guys. That is the big thing. Domestic violence is the big thing. And I think maybe they overcharged Diddy. Maybe they probably overcharged him, and he might get off because of the government going at him so hard and overcharging him, right? And maybe they didn't charge him properly. Maybe it should have been more domestic violence added into the charges somehow. I don't know, that state, federal, I don't know the laws on that. But I'm quite sure he would have got some years for, if you just charge him for straight up domestic violence, assault, right? I think you could get him, definitely, there's enough people that testified in this courtroom alone to get him on assaulting Cassie, domestic violence. That'll give him some time, right? I think, but not a lot of free Diddy or One Love hookah signs. The funny thing is, like down a block from here, there's a Free Palestine protest going on. Let me see if I can, down a block down here, Free Palestine. You know what I'm saying? So you don't really want to be around those type of rallies that way, because anything will break out down there. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to get I'm not even gonna say anything over here in this area. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't trying to have no issues. Army Guy Travels in the building. Salute to you, Army Guy Travels. Like I said, you're in front of the courthouse, and that's right there, Tisa Tells. She's taller in person. I didn't know she was that tall. That's her bodyguard right there, making sure nobody press her. You know what I mean? But she's tall. That's a tall woman right there. Tisa Tells. She looks sexy though, but she is tall, boy. She is tall. She's Amazonian princess. Amazonian princess right there, Tisa Tells. Hit that like button, guys. Shout out to Army Guy Travels in the building. Under current New York state laws, the statute of limitations for domestic violence charges is 2 years. Oh, so statute of limitations. So it'd be out of the statute of limitations by now? Okay, got you. How about assault? Could they have charged Diddy with assault and got a good sentence on him? You know what I'm saying? Would that have sufficed? Would that have sufficed? This RICO racketeering stuff, there's a lot of evidence as far as people testifying against him, but it's not a lot of evidence as far as videos, DNA, stuff like that the jury like to see. You know what I'm saying? In today's day and age, with the invention of DNA testing and stuff like that, you don't have a lot of that. Even with the Kid Cudi testimony, you did not have a lot of the DNA evidence that they were proved to be of Diddy or anybody in Diddy's circle. It was female DNA on that Molotov cocktail that was put inside Kid Cudi's car, and so that's an issue. And it's all about the 12 jurors. Or the 12 jurors tired of hearing about Cassie getting beat. That's another thing. Will this strategy backfire? If the jury is coming here every day, they hear every witness talk about how Cassie got beat up. Will that be backfire if they okay, we get it, he beat her, but like his defense attorney said, that this is not about domestic violence, or will the jury say this guy is disgusting, this guy is a woman beater, and we want to nail him and put this guy away because we just don't like the way he beat up women or threatened women. Now Mia, who was testifying today, Mia did say that Diddy did assault her, especially so far up to the now when, you know, she tried to stop Diddy from beating up Cassie. You know, I think Cassie and Nash, along with Mia was together, and Diddy went into a fit of rage and attacked Cassie, and they tried to stop it. And you said Diddy hopped on Nash, and who testified earlier today. I believe that was Nash who testified earlier today. And then, you know, in a position that she thought Diddy would kill Nash, right? And another incident was at Jay Prince's party they went to, and they was outside, and he hopped on Cassie and was beating her down, but Prince's security stopped him, and then the next day she was, you know, suspended without pay for insubordination, Maya says, you know. So Maya, who was then as Director of Development and Acquisitions for Revolt Films. All right. Well, no, all right. So how was it working there? Puff's mood changed all the time. So this is just some of the testimony we got from Mia coming out the courtroom today. The prosecutor asked Mia, who's testifying right now, was Diddy violent to you? Right? Was Diddy violent to you? Yes, he threw things at me. He's thrown me against the wall, into a pool, ice bucket on my head, slammed my arms into a door, and he sexually assaulted me. Okay, so Mia says that she testified in court today that Diddy assaulted her personally. Okay, sexually assaulted you more than once, asked the prosecutor. More than once. So now the jury is hearing all this, guys. This is violent acts allegedly done by Diddy to this lady who worked for Diddy. What are y'all thinking? You know, how is the jury thinking in this situation? If all of these right now, because this is victim number 4. This is victim 4 right here, who is testifying that Diddy actually assaulted her, and she says yes more than once. Now, this is a situation now of his word versus her word. Because now Diddy's team is going to be like, nah, do you have proof that happened? Did you go to the police? Why didn't you go to the police? You know what I'm saying? And now the jury have to understand, be like, well, do we believe this witness? And that's what's going on before these witnesses. Do the jury believe these witness statements? Will they feel comfortable about putting Diddy in jail for life, 15 years to life? Now, I think maybe this should be more of a assault case. Case. You know what I mean? Now, I don't know how that works. I don't know if the feds would have been able to press charges, you know, for assaults or domestic violence on Diddy without Cassie cooperating. I don't know. I know Cassie was paid out her money. That's another thing. Some of these witnesses have been paid out by Diddy, you know, for, you know, alleged assaults, Diddy's, behavior towards them. But they have been called in to testify for the government. Now, as a juror, would you be willing to put Diddy away for racketeering and conspiracy, even though there isn't really any hardcore evidence of that besides testimony from the alleged victims? And like I said, these alleged victims have been squared away. A lot of them, they've already been paid off by Diddy in lawsuits and NDAs and all types of other stuff. And now they're being forced to testify inside of a federal RICO racketeering charge because the government wants Diddy in jail. So now if you're a juror, would you be like, well, he's already paid the money out to some of these victims for the crime of assault and threats and, you know what I'm saying, intimidation. Do I want to help the government, you know, and say guilty and put him away 15 to 20 years for RICO racketeering, running a criminal enterprise, conspiracy? Do I want to do that when a lot of these victims they went back to him, called them up asking for employment again? You know what I mean? And In the case of Cassie, went back to him as a, sexual partner on many occasions, even though I know and you know that maybe, victims, they go back to their abusers, of course, we know that. But at this point, with people that work for him said he was a bad guy, they witnessed his violence, they went back and asked him for jobs. They returned back to him and asked him for jobs. In emails, they apologized. So if I'm a juror, do I want to send this Diddy to jail for racketeering and RICO just because the government wants to put him in? I would feel more comfortable actually at this point forcing him to pay for Kid Cudi's car, because I believe he did that, even though I just think maybe they overcharged Diddy. Maybe they overcharged him with the whole RICO. I think they could have got him good with assault. Somehow get him on assault and something smaller. But RICO, it's although like I said, I believe he burned that car, and of course I know that being a pyro dude, arson falls underneath RICO if you do commit that. So I guess if I say, as a juror, if I say that I think he's guilty of burning that man's car, Kid Cudi's car, that means I had to find him guilty, right? Because I believe Kid Cudi. But Kid Cudi didn't really see him do it with his own eyes, but you can put two and two together. But do I want to give him 15 years to life? Because what's happening is he made up with Kid Cudi already. This happened years ago. So am I going to help the government put him in jail? They had lunch together a couple of years after that whole incident. Diddy apologized. Now, Diddy didn't admit to burning his car, but if it's the car issue, I mean, is there a way we could just force him to pay the $200,000 for Kid Cudi's car? Reimburse him for that? Because they seem like they was cool. They cool after that already. So why am I putting him in jail because of an arson that they pretty much squared away? Why would I do that as a juror if I was a juror? Why would I help the government put him away? You know what I'm saying? In that aspect. But this is just some questions I asked, you guys, if you guys were jurors on the case. You know what I'm saying? Salute Globe. Yo, what up, Globe? How you doing? What up, Raze, my guy? What's good? Live from the Diddy trial. Nice. Yeah, we outside the Diddy trial. But you said Tisa Tells was just out here. The lovely Tisa Tells. She was taller than I expected. Like an Amazon. But she looked good though. Tisa Tells, that YouTuber, she looks good. But she is an Amazon, tall Amazon. But like I said, Diddy's kids, they entered the courtroom earlier. The sons, I didn't see the daughter, but the sons entered the courtroom earlier to show support. His publicist entered the court earlier. Globe. So shout out to you, Globe. You don't know what to do with that razor. You talk about Tisa Tells? She is tall, man. She, you get into an argument with her, boy, she give you a good fight. You know what I mean? Now I shouldn't be saying that at the Diddy trial. You know what I'm saying? Shouldn't be joking like that out here. But yeah, she's tall. She won't, man. You can't tell how tall she is when you're watching her on YouTube. But shout out to JT's in the building. I give $3,500 for that. LOL. 35 for what? Tisa Tells? Domestic violence is maybe probation and 6 months max for that BS. And he did it a lot. That's the thing, guys. Now, I'm not saying Diddy is a good person at all. Like I said, he's not the type of guy I would hang out with, because I know he would get me jammed up in some stuff. If I'm working with him, he'd be doing some stuff where he'd be trying to get me to go with him, hold his guns, and, he want to roll up on other celebrities and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And you see what happened with Sean. Sean did the 10 years in prison because of that. So Diddy is he's not the type of person I would hang out with at all. But maybe, just maybe, as I'm looking at this case, I think maybe they overcharged Diddy. Maybe they should not have went for the RICO and went for some type of assault. They would have got him for some time with assault. Definitely. Now, if you start bringing in wire fraud, if they have pure evidence of wire fraud and stuff like that, that's for them to prove. But I think. See, the problem is with this, before this testimony of him beating Cassie down, which he did, that's not part of the RICO. There's a lot of people testifying about him beating Cassie down, which is awful, which is bad look. But they didn't charge him with assault, and You know. Now hold on. Matter of fact, let me see if that if general does. You know what is the thing I gotta look at? Does general assault fall under RICO? Because that Austin did. I'm gonna have to Google. Can anybody tell me the tag? Does general assault fall underneath RICO? Because they had I had a list. I'm not on my StreamYard. I will bring it up. But does general assault fall underneath RICO, guys? Because that'll be big. Because if general assault, I know I seen murder. I seen of course murder. I seen the arson. Maybe assault is on that list also. Can somebody find that out? Is assault on the list? Because if assault on the list, then yeah, I mean, they got them. They can act, I mean, I don't know why I didn't think to look that up. Is assault on underneath RICO? Because that, then, nobody has been talking about that. We just been talking about domestic violence. He's not charged with that. But if assault falls under RICO, underneath a RICO charge, like the arson, like the bribery, obstruction of justice, stuff like that, and murder, kidnapping, which one of his workers said he kidnapped her for 5 days. Well, one of the workers kidnapped her for 5 days, put her under lie detector test because of some stolen jewelry that came from Jacob the jeweler, and she was kidnapped for 5 days inside of a hotel room. She couldn't leave, but she stayed with the organization, and then years later, after she left, she went back to the organization. And that's the issue. These people keep going back. I believe her that she was kidnapped, but then I'm like, why would I put Diddy in jail once you went back? You went back to that organization. Obviously, you got over the alleged kidnapping, and it's your word, but you went back. So do I feel comfortable putting him in jail for kidnapping? I'm a common sense type guy. When people keep going back and asking for employment from this guy, I don't know if I can put him in jail for kidnapping, even if I think he probably did it without really any real physical evidence, because the victim went back. The victim went back and asked for employment again. She didn't just stay, like she said in the beginning, because she felt that if she left, that she thought that they would have thought that she actually stole the jewelry, because they were threatening her she said they were threatening to throw her inside the East River. But she went back. I can see how she go back. All right, I can forgive her for going back and working there in the heat of the moment, right after she was kidnapped. But a couple of years later, she went back to work for Diddy. Now, she said she only did that because she needed a job, and she claimed that Diddy was the one that had her blackmailed or something. She couldn't get another job, so she went back, or Diddy called her because, matter of fact, she was doing another job. She said that Diddy liked the job she was doing, and for her to come back and work, but she won't have to work closely with Diddy. She could work in another department. So that type of stuff is like, why am I putting Diddy in jail for that? And the victim went back, a couple of years later. That's not, I'm just trying to be a common sense person. I think maybe they probably should have just got him on assault. Now, I know the feds now wanted to get him for RICO and racketeering, but if I'm a juror, do I want to help the feds put him away for basically like 30 years to life, 15 years of life? Do I want to help the feds do that? And that's the question that those jurors is going to have to answer. Or maybe the juror might just say, you know what? This Diddy dude, I don't like this dude. All 12 jurors might say that and be like, you know what? Yeah, guilty on racketeering, guilty on racketeering because we didn't like the way he beats up women. So that can happen also. Hit that like button, guys, in front of the Diddy trial, courtroom. Like I said, we seen Tisa Tales out here. That was cool. My bodyguard was looking at me like I'm a hitman or something. And I was like, nah, I'm just chilling. You know what I'm saying? I'm chilling. I'm about to go live myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to go live myself. I like Tisa Tales. K-Bones. Yeah, what up, Globe? Salute to you. Silky Johnson is testifying. So Silky Johnson is testifying right now. Okay. So Silky Johnson is testifying right now inside that courtroom right there at the Diddy trial. Hit that like button, guys. Aggravated assault is an upgraded felony, but I am not sure of statute of limitations, says JT. Okay, got you. Understood. Yeah. But hit the like button, guys. Thank you for that. Yeah, guys. Hit that like button. Live at the Diddy trial. Like I said, shout out to Big Super for hopping on the live stream the other day. He was inside the court on my live a few days ago. So shout out to Big Super for telling us. Big Super said he believes Diddy is just going to plead out to no jail time, get probation, and that'll be that. So let's see. Like I said, the person that was let me turn this way. It's the court. The person that the person that was on Fox News, former prosecutor, said Diddy can actually just walk. Now, Suge Knight, now I don't know if you guys heard this, Suge Knight himself, y'all know Big Suge, says Diddy should walk also. Suge Knight, who is a, basically a enemy, let's just call it what it is, an enemy of Diddy for years and decades, said that Diddy should walk because of the other people that were involved, that were executives, and they should be on trial right now as indicted conspirators. Some of those, I guess he's talking about maybe Clive Davis, you know, and others. But he said Diddy should walk with what he's been seeing in this trial. Now, a lot of people probably wouldn't have said that when Diddy first was arrested. I'm saying maybe they maybe overplayed their hand and overcharged Diddy. You know, I think he's guilty of sin of assault, definitely. But like you said, aggravated assault is an upgraded felony, but I am not sure of statute of limitations. You outside the courthouse, Raze, anonymous? Yes, outside the courthouse. Like I said, shout out to Tisa Tell. I seen her, she was cool. Let me see. Donald Trump has pardoned Larry Hoover. Yes, I did a video on that. Yeah, Donald Trump has pardoned Larry Hoover. But the thing is, that's just for federal, you know, he did like 52 years, right? Already inside prison, federal prison. He still owes the state 200 years. The issue is, will the governor of Illinois now issue a pardon to Larry Hoover? Larry Hoover is 72 years old. He did 52 years. He's been in prison since 1973 or so. Of course, the head of the Gangsta Disciples, he says he's not a part of that gang organization anymore that was based out there in Chicago and around the United States. I don't know. Will Illinois governor, who is a Democrat, release him? Kaboom, guess who stepped in the room? Shout out to you, Future World Films. Shout out to you, live for the Diddy trial. Live for the Diddy trial as we get some more people coming in. Hit the like button, guys. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Live for the Diddy trial, guys. And you know, like I said, shout out to you, Future World Films. Thank you for the shots out there inside Sasua. Marcus B says lock him up. That's because he blackballed them and they needed work, says Coco. All right, so Coco Rhinestone Cowboy says that's because, yeah. All right. Like I said, the Capricorn Clark, right? Liz Capricorn Clark testified that, you know, she was trying to go back because of this and go and that, and a few people went back because of this and that. Yeah, they were blackballed and that they could not find work, so they went back for employment. Now, some people say that's selling your soul to the devils. That's selling your soul to somebody you know is violent and that threatened you before, and just for $1 you go back. You know what I'm saying? So you can look at it that way also, guys. Hit the like button, though, guys. Hit the like button. You know, I'm trying to Diddy trial. With all the cameras in his house, He's seen too much of that everyone has done. I think they won't let him get away with that, says Army guy Travel. With all the cameras in his house, he's seen too much of what everyone has done. I think they won't let him get away with that. Well, what if you guys were on a jury? Because this comes down to the jury. It's not a judge that's going to decide Diddy's fate. If you were juror number 13, would you guys find Diddy guilty of racketeering and, S trafficking? Racketeering and S trafficking. Now, so far during this court, I have not heard anything about underage yet, and that's yet. Now, the prosecutor did say they want to end this trial by the second week of June. So we got roughly 2 more weeks of this before the prosecutors rest their case. But will they bring in any underage victims? If they can find any underage victim that was underage to testify and said that they were, assaulted, whatever, by Diddy as while they were underage or, drugged or whatever, that would have a lasting impact on the jury. Like the stream, likes are free. Yes, hit the like button live for the Diddy trial, guys. Hit the like button live for the Diddy trial. Raze is the Black Travel Space official reporter. Hey, like I said, I wasn't too busy. I said let me come on out here and come live from this Diddy trial, see what's going on. Like I said, Diddy's publicist been in earlier. She's put together. Diddy's publicist, she's put together. You know what I'm saying? She got a big booty. Let me stop my perverted ways. Tisa Tells looks good, but Tisa Tells, that YouTuber Tisa Tells, man, she's been doing crazy numbers covering this trial, but she is tall as hell, man. Tisa Tells is tall as hell. I'll call her Big Bird, but sexy Big Bird. Sexy Big Bird, Tisa Tells is. Raze, you got to cover what happened to Global CZ just now in Thailand. Ozzy, thank you for this. What happened? Ozzy, what happened with Global CZ? I know who that is. I'm subscribed to his channel. What happened to the brother Global CZ out there inside Thailand? I will definitely cover that. I'm thinking tonight we'll be live later on in front of Madison Square Garden, guys. At the Knicks game. See if they can extend that series. I'm gonna have my Brooklyn Nets hat on though. Just crazy. It's gonna be crazy Knicks fans out there. Like I said, I root for the Knicks too though. I'm a natural Brooklyn Nets fan. But I'm gonna wear this hat out there in front of Madison Square Garden. It's gonna be a social experiment. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna see what goes down. I'm rooting for the Knicks to extend this series, guys. So let's see. Let me see. Big Super is in the building. What up, Big Super? Like I said, thank you, Big Super, for coming on the panel. You was inside those doors. You was in there the other day listening, and you said Diddy is going to get off really with just a plea deal, time served, and probation, and crazy fines. In which that's what the guy on Fox News said yesterday. He said that he strongly sees Diddy getting, Diddy walking. He strongly sees Diddy, strong possibility Diddy could walk. And that was a former prosecutor said that. Because he don't believe that the prosecutors have proven the RICO conspiracy racketeering portion of it. I'm over at 1 pp. I'm over at 1. Oh, okay. You over at 1 pp. All right. So what? All right, Super. All right, Super. I don't know exactly where that's at over here. Actually, I walked the wrong way when I got off the train coming over here. But I don't know exactly where that's at. But of course, you know where this is at. This is over here. They're the entrance at the court building over here in Pearl. He was live streaming in a clothing store and the female employees attacked him for filming, got into a fight, and police got involved. Gotcha, Ozzy. Okay, so I'm gonna have to get Global CZ on to tell his story, what happened out there inside Thailand. Thank you for that. So it was on live. Got you. Global CZ. I like Global CZ, man. I like him. You know, I like his channel. He does a great job out there inside Thailand and Asia itself. So I will try to get him on. Or I'll cover the fight. So it was another delete the video moment. Okay. It was like Jay Rello inside Medellin. Ozzy says he's free now though. 3,500 pesos. LOL Dominican. Oh, says Army God Travels. You talk about the Tisa Tells. King Wavy, ayo, let's have respect for Puff Daddy. Now, I'm not saying we can have you don't have to have respect for Puff Daddy at all. What I'm saying is that if you was a juror, do you want to help the feds lock him away when a lot of these victims have been squared away already with payouts and payments from him and lawsuits and stuff? You know what I'm saying? Do you want to now piggyback and help the feds get him on RICO, racketeering, conspiracy? That's what I mean. Should this have been mainly an assault case? But definitely you could nail him on assault, and everybody hates that he beat up Cassie. We all don't like that. You know what I'm saying? We all don't like that. But are you willing as a juror to go ahead and help the feds put him away for maybe life or 30 years? Oh, well, R. Kelly got 30 years, right? But shout out to you, Kings Wavy. Big Super says the chicks look good in the overflow room, right? Yeah, yo. I see some chicks outside. I didn't go inside, but I see some chicks that came from outside, dressed up, looking nice. Now there's some good looking chicks around this area that are professional, maybe lawyers and work in the legal departments out here in this area. So
all of a sudden, the day that I'm like,
you guys want to rizz up a chick that got some money, you know what I mean? Just the area you hang out in. You know what I'm saying? For Tisa. Yeah, for Tisa. So 3,500 pesos for Tisa Tells. All right, Army Guy Travels. That's crazy, but I know they cracking down on vendors lately. Free Diddy says King Wavy. Now, I haven't seen the Free Diddy guys out here on this side. I haven't seen them. Now, that black van right there, that is the van that I believe, yeah, that's the Diddy's children's van right there. This van, let me go over here right here. This black SUV, that's where they came out from. The Diddy sons.
I have to come to my PO.
Yeah, the Diddy sons came out of this van right here earlier today. Down the block, there's a Free Palestine movement and protest. I'm trying to avoid that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get involved in that down there. And you know what I'm saying? Because all hell can break loose. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Hit the like button, guys. I don't know if y'all can hear. Free Palestine. Let me see. They got the signs up. They're waving the flags. Raze said, all right, let me get the hell from over here because I do not want to get into nothing. Yeah, guys. Sabrina Dawkins Matlock said hi. Salute to you, Sabrina Dawkins Matlock. How you doing? Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel outside the Diddy trial. Let me read to you some things that Mia said in the court room today. I met with a recruiter at Human Resources. Did Mr. Combs interview you? Says the prosecutor. Mia says yes. At his apartment. He was on the phone wearing his underwear. So Mia said that the human resource lady left and Diddy was in his underwear while he was interviewing her when she first went for the job. But then they asked, did he put on clothes? And she said yes after that. So, so first time she went to interview with Diddy, he was in his underwear. Boy, Diddy is a freak, guys. Diddy, you can't make this up. Diddy is a freak. Diddy is a freak. He was in his underwear for the meeting. Did you get the job? Yes, I was excited. Also, who is the prosecutor, how much did you expect to work? A lot, but I didn't fully understand. How much were you paid? $50,000. All right. What did you do on your first day? Human resources told me I was on a trial for 2 weeks. Okay. Where did you start? His Alpine, New Jersey house. I was there all day. Then where? Back to the office for a few hours more. Then I told Puff. Then I was told Puff wanted me to come to the studio. How long were you there? Until 1 p.m. the next day. Then where did you go? Puff's apartment. Then home. Prosecutor, how fast did you have to return? I didn't take a nap. I didn't want to risk it. Also, how much did you sleep during the first 24 hours on the job? I didn't sleep. I took it as a challenge. So she was hyped to work for Diddy. She didn't sleep the first day. You know what I'm saying? She took it as a challenge. You know, now some people say that that's forced labor. That's under, you know, is that under the RICO forced labor practices? Yes, I would think that's under RICO, the way they got it. So, how long did you? All right, so I read that. Prosecutor says, were you then told to sleep? All right, were you then told you could sleep at the staying up for 24 hours? Maya says yes, or Mia says yes. By whom? Puff. Why did you stay awake that long? I was working. I am introducing my exhibits. I then we have an objection about these exhibits are under seal. So the prosecutor, then Combs' lawyer still says objection. Admitted under seal. All right, so I'm just going through some of the testimony from Mia. I got some notes. Mia, who worked there, said that Diddy assaulted her. You know, a couple of occasions, a couple of times. And like I said, they're feeding the jury all this violent stuff about Diddy. They are feeding the jurors a lot of violent acts that he allegedly did to these women, you know, and we'll see how the jurors take to this, you know what I'm saying, to all this testimony. Let's focus on a few things in the document. Please read this. Mia, all of PD's social media presence, Puff Daddy's. Sean Combs, Puff Daddy, I wrote. All right, so y'all don't really, hold on, y'all don't really need to see. I'm trying to see some stuff that y'all would really care about. Let me see. Were you allowed to lock your bedroom door? Question mark. Mia, no. He said, it's my house. No one locks my doors in my house. So it wasn't really my room. But did security get to lock their doors? Yes. One had a deadbolt and a keypad. Hit the like button, guys, outside the Diddy trial. Now, like I said, she testified that Puff beat up Cassie in front of her and another guy, and that they tried to intervene, and Puff done, pushed her aside and got on top of the guy, and was like, she testified that he was in a position to kill the guy. You know, the guy that testified earlier, I believe that his name was Nash. And she just testified that, you know, people would get on edge on a movie set with Puffy. You know, he was always inserting himself, and everybody was nervous on a movie set. Stuff like that. Stuff like that. He'd keep tabs on Cassie. What part of your job to? All right, it says, what All right, I guess statement, was it part of your job to spend this time with Cassie? Yes, I had to do whatever Puff told me to do. Could you go where you wanted? No, we had to be where Puff told us we could be. So she said Puff kept tabs on Cassie, which everybody knows that. And if y'all did not listen to him and go only where he told you could go, Mia says something very scary. The punishment was unpredictable but terrifying. Prosecutor, we'll talk some more about that later on. How would Mr. Combs communicate with Miss Cassie? Mia says sometime through me. Did you see violence? Question mark. Mia says, I saw a lot of aftermaths and injuries she had. I've seen him attack her and throw her on the ground. I've seen him crack her head open. I've seen him chase her, things like that. Did she fight back? No. All right, so some more domestic violence, guys. And like I keep asking, is this trial more about domestic violence more than a RICO racketeering? As far as that, because so many people have testified that Diddy did do this to that girl, and we've seen the tape at the Continental LA hotel, in which she got paid $10 million from the hotel itself and $20 million from Diddy. Let me see. All right, what did you hear and see? I seen suitcases being thrown in the foyer. Did you see Cassie after that? She was outside crying in a bush. She looked terrified. She gestured, I'm hiding, I'm not here. What did you do? I retreated. Did you tell anyone? I think the chef in the kitchen. The sentiment was like Combs' lawyer says objection. A judge says sustain. Prosecutor, what did the chef say to you? Objection. Mr. Steele says, prosecutor, not for the truth. Judge says sustain. What happened in Cassie's apartment? Okay, this is the incident, guys, that happened inside Cassie's apartment that I was telling you about earlier. Mia says we were there. Me, Cass, and Deontay Nash. That's the guy that was testifying earlier today and yesterday. What were y'all doing? Helping her pack for a big trip to London. Puff came banging on the door, very irate. So Puff came banging on that door, very irate. Came banging on the door, very irate, guys. Hit the like button. All right. How did he get in? He got in using a key from the front desk. What was Mr. Combs asking Cassie? He said, have you been drinking or something? She hadn't answered his calls. Prosecutor, what did Mr. Combs do? Mia says, he came after me and Deontay screaming, has she been drinking? He was crazy aggressive. He attacked her. Okay, he attacked her. Once again, the jury is getting pounded away with all of these witnesses saying that Diddy beat up Cassie. How is this playing in the jury's head? You know, or is the jury disgusted at what they're hearing? Do they want to nail Diddy on the racketeering charges just because they keep hearing about his abuse of Cassie? Maybe some jurors would. Maybe they are so frustrated hearing this testimony and disgusted by Diddy's actions, allegedly, that they would find him guilty, even though there is not a lot of physical, hardcore evidence of RICO racketeering, just testimony. Some say that's circumstantial evidence, right? But maybe some people in the jury might not like the fact that Diddy beat Cassie up so many times and might say, you know what, let's let him sit for 15 years in prison under a racketeering charge. Okay, so Mia, he threw her to the ground. Me and Deontay jumped in and tried to help. What did you do? Deontay is very small in comparison to Puff. There was a little tornado going on. He had Deontay in a position where I was scared he was going to kill him. Now she threw in, the whole, she threw that whole, kill word, in that. All right. So I jumped on Puff, but he threw me off and against the wall. I felt like I was in slow motion. I realized we were in big danger. He ran into the bedroom and grabbed Cassie. Under her bed is this wood bed platform. He slammed her head into the corner. What injuries did Cassie get? Mia says her head was gushing blood. Prosecutor, what did Mr. Combs do? He got into protector survival mode.
So her like immigration.
He said to call the doctor. So and so, tell them Cassie was drunk and hit her head. Why did you do it? Because Puff said so. So what she just testified, what she testified a little earlier inside that courtroom right there, where those people walking into, she testified that Diddy told her to call the doctor and lie and say that she was drunk and hit her head, and that's why she had bruises and blood gushing out of her head. And Mia did it. Mia did it. They asked, why did you do it? Why did you do it? And says because Puff Daddy told her. Okay. Mia says his eyes were black. It was like he was looking through me. He was like completely. Judge says, let's get a next question. Prosecutor, did you see Mr. Combs take drugs? Mia, yes. When he was high, how did he appear? Mia says sometimes the life of the party or hyper. All right. Where was this? Mia says Ibiza or Burning Man or music conferences. Okay. Hit the like button, guys. Prosecutor, when he smashed her head, did he seem high? Mia says no. Did you go to Prince's party? Mia says yes. What happened the night before? Big award ceremony. Suite in the Beverly. Mia says he told me to stay with Cassie, that he was going to be at the house with his kids, but then I heard about Prince's party. Prosecutor, what did you do? Mia says Cassie and I debated like little kids if we should sneak out the house and go to Prince's party. Mia says Prince performed on a little table. Then I saw Puff come in with his bucket hat. We locked eyes. I thought, oh, drap. Cassie just booked it. Prosecutor, where did you go? Mia says across the street. There were woods or bushes, but Puff caught Cass and had her on the ground. Mia says Puff started to attack her, but Prince's security quickly intervened. Prosecutor, and later, Mia says, I went to another hotel. The next day, Human Resources told me Puff suspending me without pay. Prosecutor, did he say why? Mia says that Puff said I was being insubordinate. And then they took a break. So that was earlier. Guys, hit that like button. So it was Prince. I was thinking, so it was the Prince. That Prince party that they were at. Okay, so that's where we at right now with this trial, guys. Hit the like button, guys. I see that somebody else is on the stand right now testifying. But what are y'all guys' thoughts so far? What are y'all guys' thoughts about this case? Is it actually should this be a federal RICO case, or did the feds overcharge? Did they overextend? Will Diddy walk? Like I said, the guy from Fox News said he believes a strong ability Diddy can walk, at the dismay of many people that really want to nail him. I can understand a lot of people are disgusted by his acts as far as being violent. Hey, yo, free Puffy. Y'all heard, says Jameson. Sabrina Darkman said hi. Yeah, like I said, shout out to you, Sabrina. Kingway. Catherine Anderson, no, this isn't just about domestic violence. Put him away. He hurt many people, says Catherine Anderson. Now, Catherine, yes. Now, like I said, I'm just asking. Now, like I said, I'm just asking as a neutral observer of the case and the charges that was brought upon him. That's all. I think they would have been able to put him away for some time for the assault charges with everybody testifying against him, but I know some people was like statute of limitations in certain states. They probably couldn't bring the assault charges on him like that because of the statute of limitations. Like I said, a lot of these people that's testifying, they have been squared away, they have been paid off, in settlements and lawsuits. but they were forced to come out here and testify against Diddy with subpoenas, of course. Now, if you're a jury, knowing that, would you help the government put Diddy away for 15 to 20 years, knowing that a lot of these victims have already been paid off, in settlements and suits and stuff like that. Let me see. Pizza says all over A3. Some Diddy is going down sad. The pimp is going down at the whole house. Raze, do you think they will take his money away? He's spending a lot of money with these 10 lawyers he got. He hired like 10 attorneys now. I believe Steele is the guy that was the attorney of Young Thug, right? I believe Steele. So he hired him. Like I said, guys, this trial is only going to be like another 2 weeks. Yesterday, the prosecutor said we plan on resting our case the second week of June. We want to get this over with, and we are not going to use all of our witnesses. We are going to cut some of the witnesses we have, and we expect to have this done by the second week of June to rest our case. And then it'll go to the jury, and that'll be a big moment out here inside this federal courtroom right here. You know what I'm saying? Co-conspirators. Diddy did it, says Locke. Hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button. Free Larry Hoover. Like I said, with the Larry Hoover thing, I don't know. Maybe now the guy's a Democrat. Maybe he don't want to help. But so what's up? What's up, man?
I follow you right on Instagram.
Yeah. What's up? Yo, hold on, guys. Give me a second. Give me a second, guys. Yeah, guys, hit that like button, guys. Just seen an old friend just now who works inside the building. Hit the like button, guys. Hit the like button. Travel Squad, salute Travel Squad. In fact, Trump insulted Governor J.B. Pritzker. So you're saying that the governor of Illinois is not going to pardon Larry Hoover. Now, would it be really helping out Trump? Hit that like button. Will it really be him helping out Trump by pardoning Larry Hoover? Or would it be him helping it out himself? You know, Trump already said, look, he's rehabilitated, he's older, I gave him a federal pardon. Now, Governor of Illinois, you do your part. You are a Democrat. Will the governor look at it like he's helping Trump out by actually giving Larry Hoover the state pardon, so you won't have to do the extra 200 years? That's the key. That's the key. Just depends. It depends on what he's thinking, how he's thinking. You know, would he think that it'll help himself politically with freeing Larry Hoover on the state charges by commuting his sentence to time served, 52 years. He did 52 years, 72 years old. I think there's a chance he would do it. I think there's a chance that Illinois governor will commute the sentence of Larry Hoover. I think there's a chance. I think there's a chance he would do it. Larry is a carrot on a stick, says abstentaneous. So you talking about okay, Larry Hoover. All right. If you arrest Diddy, then arrest the Playboy Mansion guy. Well, I do hope you know that that guy is dead. Rest in peace, Hugh Hefner. Yeah, Hugh Hefner has been dead for a while now. King Wavy. So now everyone that do threesomes, don't record yourself, because you will end up like Diddy says. Peter, look, listen. One thing you've learned if you're a guy out here inside the Matrix, aka USA, do not put all your business out there on tape, and you know, just don't do it. Just don't do it. You know what I mean? You know, just don't do it. Playboy dead, but those parties Playboy dead, but those parties were lit. Who was there? Crimes Against Humanity. Let's go Knicks. Like I said, I'm gonna be at the garden later on tonight. You know, with my Brooklyn Nets hat on, social experiment. We'll see how that goes. So hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We will see if my fellow New Yorkers show me the brotherly love wearing this Brooklyn Nets hat out there inside the garden area. Knicks fans are trying to extend that series in Game 5, make it 3-2. Yes, they have, D. I said the same thing back to partying. He goes, it's going to be an all-black party next, says Crappy Sappy. Diddy bop like George Jefferson when he is found innocent, says Future World Films. And like I said, that's coming up in like 2 weeks. 2 weeks, the prosecutors are going to arrest their case. In 2 weeks. The Diddy trial is a spectacle. Crappy Slappy said hi. Hi. Lock the bloggers up. Like I said, I got to see what happened with Global CZ. I got to see what happened with Global CZ. That's for sure. You know. Outside the courtroom, guys. Hit that like button. Hit that like button outside the courtroom. Diddy trial. Where the court building. Ran into a good friend of mine for years. He works inside this court building actually. I don't think he is ever going to see the light of day, says Great Caesars Go. So you're saying Diddy is done? Oh, you're talking about Larry Hoover. You're talking about Larry Hoover with the 200 years? Fake Miko says fake victims. Jack Black says, I've heard enough, free Diddy. Hit the like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel. The Truth Session, Jack Black is weird. The whole case is domestic violence, says Ace, and employees working crazy hours for a billionaire, says Ace. So you think they don't have enough for racketeering conspiracy? My friend who works at the courthouse, he just said that this is like one of the biggest cases he's ever seen. You know what I mean? This is one of the biggest cases he's ever seen, and he's been working here for years. Stream sniped. Salute, Yerp. Raze is famous, LOL. Where's all the people? Well, a lot of people is inside. A lot of them are inside right now. Court lets out about 3:30. They normally end this around 3:30, 4 o'clock. So then you'll see a crowd of people come out. It's more crowded in the morning time when people are going in, of course. And people that want to be inside got inside. You know what I mean? They got inside. So note to self, guys, says free Diddy. I think Trump pardons Diddy. Now, that was the thing I did on the live yesterday when I covered the whole NBA YoungBoy and Larry Hoover pardons. I said, now I believe there's a possibility when Trump is leaving office and he's signing 200 or 300 pardons, I think there is a good chance that he may just very well pardon Diddy if Diddy were to be convicted. You know Trump loves headlines. You know Trump loves to be the sense of attention, and as he's leaving the office, leaving the bully's pulpit, leaving, the White House, I think he will sign that so he can have more headlines as he exits the commander-in-chief position. Trial or not, the defense comes after the prosecution. You get in press, turn the mic back on. Oh, nah, that was my friend. That was a long time friend, Travel Squad. That wasn't a delete the video moment. Nah, that wasn't a delete the video. Is Raze in court because he was at a Diddy party? No, I'm not getting called to testify, you know what I'm saying? I've never been at a Diddy party. But I admit, I would have been tempted to go be with Cassie, you know what I'm saying? If I didn't know Diddy was around. Of course, Diddy just pops out of nowhere in the corner and with his mask and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But all you guys, 99% of you guys would have, if you guys were invited to go hang out with Cassie back in the days, you guys would have did it. Don't be lying. You're lying on yourself. You know what I mean? You're not being truthful. Ray's gonna get the exclusive interview with Diddy. Yeah, as he's coming out. I might get a word. I might get a word from him. I might get a word from Diddy. I see Tisa Tell's bodyguard coming back out. That means she's probably about to come outside. Hit that like button, guys. Salute Gino Valentino. As black people, I'd rather hear about reparations instead of Hoover or Ye. We got more important issues that never get addressed. Hey, I'd rather hear about me hitting lottery, Mega Millions. You know what I'm saying? Can I hit some Mega Millions? Goddamn it, it's been years. I've been playing for years. When will it be Raze's time to hit the big one? The jackpot, the Powerball. Ray's meeting up with his probation officer. Nah. Me no criminal. Any hookup to get inside the courtroom? Hey, I'm going to keep that one to myself. could have went inside. I could have went inside, but I'm not. You know, I got a bunch of stuff for me right now because I wasn't planning on going inside. Normally, the people come here early around 6 o'clock in the morning to go inside. You know, get on the line, and I could go inside. Like I said, shout out to Big Super. Big Super went inside the other day. But, yeah, I mean, I could have got inside. I could have definitely 100% could have got inside. But like I said, I got a bunch of stuff on me right now, and I wasn't planning on going inside. That's why I brought all the stuff with me. Plus, I'm going to the garden tonight also. So I'm gonna be around the garden area too. So I was carrying some stuff around. So I don't want to go inside and go through the scanners and all that stuff. I'm not prepared to do all that. I just really wanted to come outside and be out front, the courthouse. The press is asking Raze about the prostitutes. He will be back in a second. Oh man, hit the like button though, guys. Hit the like button. Outside the Diddy trial, you know, is it just like I said, is it only, you know, no big deal? No, it's a big deal. Domestic violence is a big deal. Is it? But did they overcharge them? Should they have charged them with assault or some type of federal assault? I don't know. Because some people, like for some people to be saying, and former prosecutors to be saying that strong possibility he can walk means that there's not enough like DNA or physical evidence saying that Diddy is guilty of RICO racketeering and as such. You know what I'm saying? It's all testimonies, circumstantial, eyewitnesses, which he can be convicted. He can be convicted if the jurors say so, you know, technically. If they say they believe all these witnesses, you know. But witnesses as for the pyro incident with the car, if they believe Diddy actually did that or hired his goons to do that work for Bad Boy, that'll mean he is running a criminal enterprise with people that works for him that does crimes such as, you know, pulling up on people with guns, a la Suge Knight, pulling up on Kid Cudi, breaking and entering, and burning that man's car, hiring people to burn the car, having his workers, people that work for Bad Boy Records, whether it be his assistants or his security team. They're trying to say that that's a RICO. That means Bad Boy Records is a criminal enterprise. Should he do some time in the box? Yes, he had no right hitting her the way he did. Yes, yes, Rashad Gillum. But would you put him away for 15 years, Rashad Gillum? That's the question. 15 years of life. That's the question the jurors have to ask themselves, which they are. They are going to ask themselves that. As a matter of fact, they're going to be forced to ask themselves that question because the judge is going to force them to. You know, they got no choice. They got no choice. Hit that like button, guys. You gotta hit that like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Anybody new to the channel outside the Diddy trial? We're gonna be at the garden later on with this Knicks, with the Knicks fans, and I'm gonna wear this Brooklyn Nets hat out there as a social experiment. See if Raze can't survive that at the garden with those crazy Knicks fans. I'm rooting for the Knicks to extend this series though, but you know, we'll see. They've been awful at home in the playoffs. They've been better on the road. So we shall see if that series will be extended or not. Live from the garden tonight, I will be before the game. And let's see if Raze get jumped or not wearing this Brooklyn Nets hat. Hit the like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Never that, John Smith. Pastor Bros is winning. Yes, Pastor Bros winning. Raze got subpoenaed. Listen, I'm sorry, but this whole thing is BS. Without Cassie, they have, therefore, she shouldn't have been allowed to testify after she just sued him. And one says Rashad Gillum. So Rashad says it's all BS. And Some people would agree with you, Rashad Gillum. Some people would agree. As we outside live. Let me see. Say Raze got subpoenaed, boy. Let me see. As black people, I'd rather hear about reparations instead of. All right, so I read that one. Like I said, I'd rather hear about me winning the lottery, winning 10 million in the Raze account. Salute Stacks 82. Salute to you. Okay. Razor can't go in the courtroom because he got beer in his pocket. Oh man, yeah, I got some hidden beers in my bag and stuff. You know what I mean? I got bags. I got a chair. I got a folding chair. You know what I mean? I got a big book bag. Yeah, I don't feel like going through security. Yeah, and I got beer too. And I got beer. D nice. You know what I'm saying? Let's go, Nick, says Gino Valentino. Get a press pass for Raze TV. Like I said, I got offered to go in. I could have went inside. Like I said, I just got too much stuff for me. I got too much stuff. I wasn't planning on expecting on getting inside. You know what I mean? I just wanted to come out, and I was lucky enough to see Tisa Tales out here when I got out here, which was cool. You know, I was lucky enough to see Tisa Tales, and Tisa Tales is tall as hell. What up, Tony Fox? I'm new to living in this country, but why those names? Okay. You all right? No, okay. What up, Jake White? How you doing? Live from the Diddy trial. Man, you got some people joking on you. LOL. Wow. By the way, let's go, Knicks. Sadly, OKC Thunder won their series. Yeah, they slaughtered Minnesota. They slaughtered them. Like I said, that's why I was disappointed when they lost by 40. You know what I mean? You know, I'm like, what are y'all doing losing by 40? Y'all just quit that other game. Y'all just like, you know. But hey, congratulations to OKC and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Canadian-born MVP. Maybe he'll get his first title. Hopefully it's the Knicks, but we shall find out. Raze are blessing us with a free Diddy trial coverage. Salute to you. Shout out to you guys. Yes, it's free. Hit the like button. Likes are free too. Subscribe to the channel if anybody is new to the channel. Adric Hopoy. Salute to you, Adric Hopoy. Hopefully all is well with you. Adric Hopoy live from the Diddy trial. Outside. You know. Yeah, guys, so I think that's all for right now, guys. I think you know, I recap what went down earlier in the courtroom. We'll see what happens later on. I think I'm gonna hang around this area, and yeah, I'm gonna hang around this area a bit. I'll come back live in like an hour or two once it ends. See who we can get coming out. Yeah, I'm gonna get some photos, get some videos, maybe come back live from over here, see who I can get, you know, maybe I can get an interview with somebody from out here, when they exit out of this courtroom, around 3:30 is 4 o'clock, so hit that like button, guys. Adric Hopper, did you hit me back? Where at? What you sent me? You sent me a message somewhere, Adric? On Instagram? Sadly, another orange and blue team may win a title. That's the Edmonton Oilers in hockey. They are up 3-1 in the series. If they win, it's over. Oh, email. All right, Adric Hopoy. I'm gonna check that. I'm gonna check that email, Adric. I'm gonna check that email. I'll come back live. I'm gonna hang around this area. I'm gonna come back live when court lets out, and I'm gonna see what's going on. All right, guys. So shout out to you guys. Hit the like button. Thank you for joining me, and I will be back live a little bit later on when when the crowd starts to come out, and if there's any developments inside this Diddy trial. Salute, guys. Hit the like button and subscribe.